UFC Vegas 21 main card predictions. Going to be talking about the fights on the main card. Pretty decent card, some fun matchups, exciting main event. We get to see Leon Edwards back. Did lose some fights from the main card. The Ben Rothwell fight is off, but still some quality names on the main card. Some matchups worth talking about. Without further ado, let's get into the first fight on this main card. Eryk Anders takes on Darren Stewart. It's a fun striking match here. I think these guys are going to get down and really go at it. Darren Stewart, good performance against Kevin Holland in his last fight. Eryk Anders, he's coming off a loss as well. That was against Krzysztof Jotko. I thought that fight could have gone either way, honestly. Look at his resume. He had a 3-fight losing streak in 2018 to 19, then 2-fight win streak, lost to Jotko. Eryk Anders, he's a decent fighter. He's well-rounded. Darren Stewart, I definitely feel is better. He's superior as far as his technical striking goes. I think his grappling is going to hold up just fine against Eryk Anders. The one factor, I guess, would be the size. Anders has been at 205 a bit, but he's more of a natural 185er. Only a 1-inch height and reach advantage. I don't think it's substantial enough to cause enough problems for Darren Stewart. I don't see Darren losing here. I do think that Eryk Anders sits in. He's going to go the distance. He's very hard to finish. He's a durable guy. I'm riding a Darren Stewart decision win. He's a minus 185 favorite to the plus 150 dog. I like the favorite here. I am riding Darren Stewart. Unanimous decision to start off the main card. Now, next fight on this main card, flyweights go at it. Manel Kape bouncing back very quickly. Just recently fought on the Overeem versus Volkov card a couple weeks back. He takes a short notice bout against Nikolaya, who comes back to the UFC. His last fight in the octagon, I believe, was a loss to Dustin Ortiz by knockout. I'll quickly actually pull up his record and preview him. He's on a pretty good streak, though. Since that loss to Dustin Ortiz, or rather 2-fight win streak, nothing too crazy. That was in 2018. For some reason, I was thinking it was prior to that. So not that long ago, about almost 3 years now, has bounced back with 2 straight wins. Win in the Brave CF. That's a pretty solid victory. Felipe Efrayan, 13-4. He now comes over to fight Manel Kape. Manel Kape is no slouch. He went in there with Alejandro Pantoja. He sat in there for 3 rounds. He's got a mean left hand. He's a good striker. And I mean, he was on a pretty solid streak. 3-fight win streak. Has a win over Kaya Skura by knockout. That's a pretty solid win on the resume. He has power in his punches. It was his UFC debut. He lost to the number 5 flyweight in the UFC. Can't really shame him there. I think he's going to look better in his second fight here in the UFC. Odds are going to be near even. It makes sense. I feel Manel Kape has the speed advantage. I think his takedown defense holds up fine. And I do think he hits harder than Matthias Nikolaya. And I'm going to ride a Manel Kape victory here. I think he gets it done. I could see a decision, or I could actually see a TKO if he really lets the hands go. But in his last fight, he didn't throw a ton of volume. He wasn't going after Pantoja with a lot of strikes. He was kind of on the back foot, moving a lot. He's getting accustomed to the UFC. I think he's a bit more aggressive here. I'm riding a Manel Kape win. Possible TKO, more likely decision, though. Should be a good matchup, though. I think it's a fun flyweight fight. A lot of good technique on display. Both good strikers. Now, the next fight on this main card, Jonathan Martinez and Davy Grant. I like this fight a lot. Jonathan Martinez, I feel he's a bit underrated. He's a really good striker. Win over Thomas Almeida. Win over Frankie Sainz. Controversial loss to Andre Ewell. This guy could be on a 5-fight win streak without that controversial split decision to Ewell in there. Davy Grant, he's been around for a while. I believe he was on The Ultimate Fighter some years back. He's coming on a 2-fight win streak here. Stoppage of Martin Day. Did have some losses in 2016 to 18. He had that little 2-year layoff. Has bounced back. The Martin Day performance, I remember that fight. It was back and forth. It was entertaining. He's a guy that makes fun fights. Jonathan Martinez does the same. I think we have a striking war here. I think some excellent shots are going to be landed by both. You got to favor Jonathan Martinez here. I just feel he's more explosive as far as the striking goes. He's fought the better competition, beaten the better competition. There's a lot of momentum on his side. As I mentioned, he could be on a 5-fight win streak without that controversial decision. Gonna ride a Jonathan Martinez win. I think he gets it done. If you look at Davy Grant's resume, as far as his losses, submission losses, he's a guy that takes a pretty good shot. I don't necessarily think that he goes down easy here. I could see Martinez landing something, maybe hurting him, but that's going to be hard to do. I think more likely you see Martinez win a competitive but overwhelmingly well in his favor, Jonathan Martinez performance. He gets it done. I think he's overwhelmingly better. Just everywhere he's a bit better. He's a bit faster, hits a bit harder, and I think he's just the better striker of the two. As far as height and reach go, only a half-inch reach advantage for Jonathan Martinez, but I think he wins here. He's a minus 310 favorite, so massive across the board. Davey Grant will make it fun and entertaining, but he's older. He's 35. Jonathan Martinez, 26. Youth in the favor of Martinez. I'm going to ride a Jonathan Martinez win here. Potentially could see a stoppage, but also seeing a decision here wouldn't be surprising. Now, the next fight is going to be a good one. This is Gavin Tucker's biggest opportunity. He takes on Dan Ige. Ige had an excellent win over Edson Barboza. Yes, kind of controversial, but it still was a game fight, was in there with Edson Barboza. He then fights Calvin Kattar, goes the distance there. Gavin Tucker, 13-1 as a pro, has that one loss against Rick Glenn that was in 2017, took 2 years off and has looked unstoppable since. I mean, the win over Billy Quarantillo, I was really impressed because I think Quarantillo is a really fun prospect. I think he's got a wide array of skills. He's really good on the ground. Look who got it done. It was dominant by Gavin Tucker. And now he takes on Dan 50K Ige. I feel like Dan Ige is going to be a very difficult matchup for him on the feet. 5'6" is Gavin Tucker, 66-inch reach. 5'7" is Ige, but he's bringing in a 71-inch reach. 5-inch advantage. Gavin Tucker needs to force takedowns here. He needs to get this fight to the ground. I don't think it's going to be easy to do. I think Ige riding the momentum. He's looked good. I'm going to be honest, I still think Ige gets it done and beats Gavin Tucker. If Tucker wins this fight, he's really proven himself, man. He's really come a long way. Granted, he's 34. He's not the youngest. He's older than Dan Ige. He's a young prospect, but he's older in age, less high-level competition experience. Dan Ige should win here. Do I think he goes out there and knocks out Gavin Tucker? I could see a lot of decisions on this main card here. And I feel like the Dan Ige Gavin Tucker fight's another one that could go the distance. Gavin Tucker's never been stopped. Dan Ige, tough guy to put on his back and control. I'm going to ride an Ige decision. He's the minus 130 favorite. But the fight could potentially be a knockout win for Ige, but less likely. I think Gavin Tucker, he does take a fairly decent shot, was hurt pretty badly. It was a couple fights back. I think it was Justin James, actually. I'll double check on that. Yeah, Justin James hurt him pretty bad in their fight. Ige could land something big and knock him out, but I think Tucker's smart, and I think a decision is more likely. Possible, though. Should be fun. I think there's a lot of fun, action-packed fights that are going to be on this main card. The co-main event, Misha Sorokanov versus Ryan Spann. Spann's coming off the disappointing defeat against Johnny Walker. He looked, honestly, pretty good in that fight. He was hurting Johnny Walker bad. Sorokanov coming off the win over Jimmy Crute. That's a huge win because Jimmy Crute is a hot prospect. He does have a bad loss to Johnny Walker. He got caught early. Walker had this crazy momentum. He was on some wild streak there. I'm not going to really shame Misha Sorokanov too bad. It's a tricky fight. I think on the feet, advantage Ryan Spann. He's longer. He's taller. I think he's the better kickboxer, but when he gets to the ground, I see an advantage for Sorokanov, and I think that he wins. I think submission victory second round for Misha Sorokanov here. I think he beats Ryan Spann. I think he has the tools on the ground to do it. He's a really strong guy, and if you look at Spann against Sam Alvey, kind of had some difficulties there. There's been some red flags. I think he's a really good prospect. Fun guy to watch, but I think Misha Sorokanov submits him here. Round number 2, he's a minus 140 favorite to the plus 110 dog, riding the favorite, Misha Sorokanov, to get it done here. And now we've arrived at the main event of the evening. Leon Edwards, Belal Muhammad. Muhammad steps in for Hamzat Chimaev. Awesome opportunity, but it's not an easy matchup. I mean, Leon Edwards is well-rounded. Belal Muhammad's good with his takedowns, but was having a hard time putting Diego Lima on his back. Got him down a few times still. Beat him on the feet. Looked really good with his striking. Leon Edwards is a guy that can kind of do it all. He's patient. Can go the distance, can work well on the ground. I think we're looking at 5 rounds here, and I think we're looking at a Leon Edwards unanimous decision win. I think he continues with his win streak. His first fight in, I think, like over 600 days, so it's been a long time since we've seen Leon Edwards in action, and I am really looking forward to seeing this fight. I am riding a Leon Edwards win by a decision. He's a minus 250 favorite to the plus 200 underdog. Overall, pretty solid main card. I'm looking forward to some fights on it. I think there's going to be some action here, and it will be good to see Leon back in action. I'm excited to see Manel Kape in his second fight. His first fight wasn't too long ago. Big fight against Pantoja. I'm excited to see him versus a little lesser competition, see if he can deliver with that excitement that he had in Ryzen. Jonathan Martinez, I think he's going to look good in there. Dan Ige, You look at him, he's fighting Gavin Tucker. This is a pretty serious step down in competition as far as rankings go, but I think EA's going to come out on fire. The Sorokanov Ryan Spann fight could be good. I think we can have a really fun main card. Some good bouts. Overall, really interested to see. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Also, guys, follow my social media, Instagram, Twitter, and I'll see you all in the next video.